doesn't mean there's not temptation out there still. Matter of fact, what this story is about an adulterous affair. Adultery happens between people who are married. At least one of them is married. So just because I'm married doesn't mean this stuff doesn't apply to me. I have to be pure, and I have a mandate to be pure from the Bible, just like you. And have probably more opportunity, most of y'all, because I know so many people. So I have to heed to this just the same. And so when we read the Bible, you have to understand that this stuff applies to everybody, and when God says something, he means it. Now, the reason that Solomon is qualified to give us wisdom on relationships is because he had so many women. Look what it says in 1 Kings chapter 11. Right there in your lesson, in your notes, it says, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines or female slaves, and his wives turned his heart away. For it was so when Solomon was old that his wives turned his heart away after other gods, and his heart was not loyal to the Lord his God, as was the heart of his father David. Solomon had all these wives, and it wasn't a blessing from God. It ended up ruining his career. It ended up splitting up his kingdom. He was king over Israel. Israel was 12 different tribes, and God took away 10 of them because of his sin in his life. And so even though he was wealthy, even though he was a king, even though he was powerful, his sexual immorality ruined his life. And the same for you, the same for me. We have to make a decision that we are going to be pure. Now, I know there are people in this audience here. You're dating somebody, you're sleeping around, you're in pornography. Some of you guys out here are trapped in masturbation. And you'll be told by psychologists, it's normal, don't worry about it. Let me tell you something. You and I know. You know the struggle that it is if you're involved in that. And the pornography that's often, and the lust that's often associated with it. So don't believe that. Believe what the Bible says. And be set free. And so it's very important for us to look at this stuff and to be very clear. Now, we want to read something to you that is kind of another side to it. We want to start with the ideal, that we would have a passionate relationship with your spouse. I remember when I was in high school, I didn't think my parents had sex. I thought they were too old.